This video is brought to you by text messaging. It's called Conversations of the Future. Hi, Harvey Hooke here. In this video, we're going to be talking about a situation where someone might be messing you around. And although I'm going to be speaking directly to women, obviously, look, this is a human situation. We are all humans. We are all in this race together. We are all on this journey together. We are here as a race, as a society. So I'm going to be talking to women who are heterosexual, but if you're a woman interested in another woman, or a man interested in another man, or if you're a man interested in a woman, obviously this advice still applies. Is he messing around with you, right? Now, sometimes, to get very serious about this, people will mess around with you. It's not that they intentionally think that there's something wrong with you. It's not that they are trying to manipulate you into getting something that you want or that they want or whatever. But truth be told, it's a relationship. People can only manipulate you as much as you allow them to. And that sentence alone will piss off a lot of people, because they'll say, well, I didn't want that person to mess me around. What are you saying, that I allowed that person to mess with me? And I say, yes. You didn't know that it was possible for that way. Now you know. And that's why it's really important to get in touch with your desires, to know what you truly want, because without that, then you will often, if you don't know where you're going, you'll go where someone else is going. And, the choice is yours. Sometimes people want that, and that can be part of their journey. It can be part of your journey too. But, if you're watching this video, chances are someone has really, they kind of like have promised certain things, or they've said things, or they've done things, or their actions don't match their words, for example, and you're looking for a solution. So at the end of this video, we're going to be giving you a text message that you can send now, and I want you to customize it a little bit to suit you and your situation. But for now, I want to talk about just this idea of self-respect. Because I find, and there's a sentence that I fucking live by, and if you are going to write anything down this video, including the text message and including the URL for working with me, but it's this: no one is going to respect you until you respect yourself. No one is going to know what you respect, know what your standards are, until you respect and understand and step up and stand up for those standards. This is why often I talk about, relationships and love like they're two separate things. Relationships are collaborative. Love isn't. Relationships require permission. Love doesn't. You can love someone without their permission. But self-respect, being the third in the fucking holy triforce of relationships, love, and everything in between, is about what you want, your desires, what you stand for, what you allow. And so that's the thing. You don't have to punish people. You don't have to yell at people who disrespect you. You just don't have to be there. And so if someone is consistently putting you in a situation, so I say putting you because if you say, another way of saying it is, if you're allowing someone to put you in a situation, which is a much more lucid, a much more real, and a much more in control sentence. So rather than saying, they made me feel bad, you can say, I allowed them to make me feel bad, which is more true and more in control. You then get the option, right? You get the option because if they made you do that, you don't have control over yourself. And I have to ask you this: who is in control of your emotions? Are they in control, or are you in control? So when it comes to this, some people say, yeah, but I respect myself. And then I say, well, if you respect yourself and your standard is to, if your standard is to be honest and be in a relationship with someone who wants to actually care about you and cares about what you think, then why are you letting this person walk away from every time you express yourself? Or if you want to share your feelings and your partner gets upset and really angry and just pushes you away, or if you want a relationship, right, and that person just ignores every time you say that, why are you allowing that situation in your life? When you say, well, I'm not allowing it, he's the one who's doing it. It's like, well, why are you in that situation? We have to recognize that we're in situations for a reason. You know, we might be in that place. We might have brought ourselves that place only to recognize that that's not what we want. We want a loving relationship, so we get attracted to an unloving relationship to have more desire, more string pulling to that loving relationship. So the text message that I want you to send. Now, obviously, your situation is very unique, and if you haven't realized this yet, this is a YouTube video, you know? So if you are working with me one-on-one, we can create something that's unique for you, and you can understand this at a nuanced level. But for the purposes of the fact that this is a digital video multimedia presentation, the simple idea is that you want to give the person a binary option. Now, your situation is unique, so you have to make it yours. But the very simple text message is this. Hey, I don't like where we are. This keeps happening, this keeps happening, this keeps happening. And I get it. You have your life, I have mine. But are we this or are we this? Please, I'd like to know. And so here's the key with this message, right? Fill it out with your own blanks. So you might say, I'm sick and tired of every time I talk to you about our problems that you seem to walk away. Now you want to use softening words, not that you walk away, which is very aggressive. It seems like you walk away. It feels like you avoid that thing. Softening language allows negative to be heard more in someone, so it doesn't really feel like it's an attack. You know, it's just how the mind works. But the key here is having a binary option, because if the person is uncomfortable with making a choice, which is why it might seem like they're messing you around, sometimes they just don't want to make a choice yet, or they're not ready to make a choice. You're often forcing a hand a little bit here. You're making a little bit more clear. You're saying something like, are we in a relationship or are we not? Are we boyfriend, girlfriend, or are we not? Do you want to date me or are we or not? And they might say a third option. Now remember, you are asking the question. You have set the frame in which this communication is established. So you say, I know we're dating. I know that you're happy where we are. I know that sometimes it just really upsets you. But are we this or are we that? I like to attribute this to, like, say for example, kids with ice cream. You know, when a kid doesn't know what it wants, you don't go, child, what flavors would you like? There are 37 flavors and you can barely read. You go, what do you want? Chocolate or vanilla? What do you want? Strawberry or banana? What do you want? Rainbow or lemon? Do you want it in a cone or a cup? You often lead people through those steps of understanding, the same steps that you have come to understand and create those desires within yourself. So when it comes to this text message, you can say this in person. You know, some people say, and the amount of times people will say, like, when do I send this text message? Whenever you want. You know, when is it the perfect time? There is no perfect time. There will never be a perfect time. Stop looking for the perfect time, because often it'll present itself. I've often when I've worked with people and it was time for them to end their relationship with their partner because it just wasn't what they wanted and it was obviously going in the direction that they wanted, that they've done it in the most ridiculous of times. They're driving on a holiday. They had to pull over because they couldn't drive another meter, or they're about to go into a work meeting and they just couldn't do it because moving forward, they needed to solve the situation. They needed to get it together. And we want to solve these lower problems, and I call them lower problems because the higher problems are what we want. We want quality problems. We want the problems that it's like, oh, you know, whose Christmas is it at? Your family's or mine? You know those quality questions that we have. Those things like if you're running a business, I'm not getting any clients versus how do I manage all my clients? You know, we always want those quality problems. But there are two kinds of problems. Quality problems from taking action, or stationary problems from being still. So if you're in a situation where you're not taking action and you're feeling the pain, remember, stationary problems hurt more than quality problems. They always will. So if you're in a situation, I really recommend send a binary option text message. Are we this or are we this? You can make it very loving. I love that you're like this. I understand that you're a person who's very passionate. I understand that you have your career. You know, I feel that I'm not really important in your life. So I have to ask, am I important to you or am I not? And people say, but babe, you're important. It's like, no, no, no. I understand I'm important in the ways that you've said that you give me the time or whatever that you want. But am I important or am I not? Because if I am important, I'd like to be treated in a certain way. Because no one will respect my standards unless I respect my own. And that's something you can say. In fact, when often in my own personal life, with anything, business, relationships, friends, family, my own body, for example, anything. It's a saying I often say like a lot. No one will respect my standards until I respect them myself. So that was this video. If you'd like to upgrade your standards, please apply for a free call. You can learn more about my 6-week coaching program. That's www.loveonmyterms.com. That's where you can apply for the free call and learn more about my program. That's where you work with me one-on-one. And when you're in this program, oh my God, you will see the amount of shifts that we have on like a week-to-week basis. It's one of those things that whatever you want, if you wanted, it's to do with relationships. So if you want your love life to actually work, or if you're in a situation, I'm not saying that your love life doesn't work, but if you're in a situation where you feel like it doesn't work and you want it to actually work, well, that's what we do. We also talk about confidence, social skills, wants, desires, loves, emotions, sexuality, things like that. Whatever, if you're in a situation where you feel like you're stuck, you've hit a plateau in whatever you're trying to do, or you keep getting the same results and you're sick of the same results and you just want it to fucking work, that's what we do in this 6 weeks. And it's one of those things that people often say it pays for itself. The amount of value people get in the first call in the first week versus the entire fucking 6 weeks is the fucking cost of the entire program in itself. So if you're interested in that, go to www.loveonmyterms.com. You can apply for a free call. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you did like this video, make sure to leave a like, because if you did, then I like you. And make sure to subscribe because, you know, do you like my content? Yes or no? If you like it, subscribe. If you don't, get the fuck out of here. All right, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you next week. Mwah.